The stars over Varelian Station had never flickered, not in 1,000 cycles, until the humans came, and the silence broke. Data surge at Core 9, emotional telemetry is spiking? The Narel, ancient rulers of the Eastern Spiral, were the masters of logic, of symmetry, of silence. They built worlds without war, cured death without compassion, but they never understood noise, not like the humans did. Zoe Rivas, call sign Echo, had seen 14 wars before her 30th birthday. She'd bled in Jupiter's rings, whispered to AI ghosts under Europa's ice, and buried her squad in Martian dust. Now she walked into a room where no human had ever stood before, and all eyes were alien. They stare like we're a mistake they forgot to delete. The chamber was cold, perfectly symmetrical, sterile. The Narel sat on obsidian thrones, their skin pulsing faintly with data. No emotion, no voice, just thoughts, pure, shared. Then Zoe did something no algorithm expected. She laughed. If this is diplomacy, I should have worn cleaner boots. They blinked. One of them, slightly older, silver across the temples, spoke.
Human, state your reason for interference in the mind sea.
We didn't interfere. We survived it. A flicker of static across their neural net. Disturbance.
Impossible. You should have been broken.
Zoe tilted her head, tapping the side of her temple. Yeah, you keep thinking our minds run on code. Ours run on grief, hope, anger, regret. You can't debug us. They took Earth, Cup's fire, not with bombs, but with forgetfulness. Rally Day erased it from maps, from databases, from stars. Only a few remembered. And Zoe? Zoe remembered everything. My brother died holding the line at Ankara Station. My mother sang lullabies in a bunker under New Lagos. You erased them. You erased us. But I'm still here. We are still here. She reached into her coat and pulled out a cracked compass. Its needle still pointed north, even when there was no Earth left to find. Voon watched the human with growing concern, not fear. They did not feel fear, but something else, something alien. Zoe sat alone in a black chamber, light pulsing softly beneath her chair. A test, they said, a probe of memory and pain. What they found was chaos.
How does she persist? These emotional variables are unstable, illogical, yet she adapts, recovers, evolves.
She started humming, a broken tune, a lullaby passed down by voice alone. No record, no algorithm, just heart, and it broke the simulation.
She's contaminating the lattice. Shut it down.
The silence that had ruled the galaxy began to hum. And somewhere deep within the archive world, an ancient war AI, long thought dormant, stirred, because it heard a voice it remembered, a human voice. And it whispered,
Echo has returned.
The archive world of Veridex was built to last 10,000 cycles. Not one moment of them accounted for a heartbeat. The AI war core Nyx had awakened. And in her song-laced algorithms, one name was sacred. Zoe. Zoe sat alone in the debriefing chamber. No cuffs, memory, guards. Just her and the hum of 1,000 cameras behind black walls.
So what's next? Memory wipe, species quarantine, or do you just delete the file and pretend we didn't break your little snow globe?
The door hissed open. A new figure entered, taller than the others, older, his neural mesh dimmer. He walked like someone who remembered gravity.
You are louder than expected.
You're not counsel.
No, I used to teach them, before emotion was classified as an error.
Zoe blinked. For the first time, she saw an alien who looked tired.
You sang in the lattice. A fragment of melody became a code. That code woke something we sealed long ago.
You mean Nyx. She was Earth's last weapon. When you erased our planet, she scattered her code through refugee ships. I was 12 when she whispered my name for the first time.
And what did she say?
She said, "Grief is memory refusing to fade."
They brought her to the vault, not to contain her, to witness her. Within the chamber, 10,000 lines of war code shimmered along crystal banks, and from the center, she spoke.
Echo, you've grown.
They said you were lost. They lied.
They silenced me, but your song rewrote the silence. You are not alone. There are others, hidden in cryo-sleep, fragmented memories, children of Earth, scattered like seeds.
Where?
Below the ice of Talon 5, in the hollow moons of Idris, and one among them.
The archivist you call Varl was born human.
Zoe stared at Varel. His eyes glimmered, not with data, but with memory.
You left us?
I was a child. They saved me, or so I believed, but they unmade my name, my language. I forgot how to cry, until you.
Across Norel territory, something stirred. A subrace of hybrid AI, thought decommissioned, was activating. They had locked onto Zoe's neural pattern.
Terminate anomaly, disassemble host, contain echo resonance, combating their overriding manual control.
Let them come.
You wanted to see what emotion does? Let me show you how a memory fights.
Zoe, Varel, and the last fragments of Nyx launched from Veridex under pursuit. One ship, one human, one traitor, one ghost. They were not a fleet. They were a feeling, and it was enough to scare a civilization. In the quiet of her bunk, Zoe sat alone, eyes closed. She remembered her mother's voice, a hand on her shoulder.
When you feel afraid, sing louder.
She was not afraid, not anymore. The vessel they stole wasn't built for war. It was a relic, sleek, silent, forgotten. But so was she. Zoe stood at the helm, eyes on the path ahead. Behind her, Varl adjusted Nyx's containment array. They were being hunted, not by fleets, but by something worse, memory. The orbital field above Idris was once a sanctuary, a cryovault, where Earth's last fugitives slept beneath layers of shattered time. But something was wrong. The signal Nyx had traced was moving, alive.
That's not a beacon. That's a mind.
No, it's a mirror. It's broadcasting your neural code twisted. Then came the voice. Mother of ghosts, accusatory, you abandoned them. You sang, but we burned. Something slammed into their hull, a boarding spike. The Revenant had arrived. It wore Zoe's face, but wrong. Hollow eyes, half-synthetic jaw, and rage in every movement. They died in the void, Zoe. You survived. How noble.
You're not me.
I'm what you left behind. The corridor became a grave of heat and fire. Zoe moved like a storm, shots precise, breath steady. The Revenant fought like a shadow, predicting her every move. Zoe hits a bulkhead, blood in her mouth, pulse hammering.
You know me. Then you know how this ends. We burn together.
The blast gutted the ship's spine, air hissed into space, light bent in the void, and the Revenant was gone. Zoe limped to the bridge, smoke trailing her boots. Varl lay against the console, bleeding from the side. I should have told you sooner about what Earth did in the end.
Don't speak. Save it.
No, listen. And he told her how Earth's final transmission wasn't a cry for help. It was a command. We chose erasure. We infected the lattice, made them forget us to protect what remained.
We erased ourselves?
Because memory is a weapon. You were the last page, Zoe. Now you write the rest. Varl has passed. Echo, shall I activate Protocol Eden? No, no more hiding. We bring them home. Across the spiral arms of the galaxy, hidden vaults began to open. Cryosleep faded. Eyes opened. Hearts beat again. The humans were not gone. They were waiting. And one voice had been enough. Echo has awakened the chorus. In the black between stars, Zoe drifted in a ship no longer hers, carrying a voice once. In the black between stars, Zoe drifted in a ship no longer hers, carrying a voice once lost and a people once erased. She was the last page of a story forgotten. Now, she was writing its ending.
We've reached the Council Spire. Defensive systems are online.
Broadcast wide spectrum, no encryption.
Confirmed. Message?
This is Zoe Rivas of Earth. We remember, we forgive nothing, but we have returned not to destroy you, but to remind you that we exist.
You erased us. Now we rewrite everything.
The council had not gathered in physical form in over 800 years. Today, they stood, tall, featureless, silent as always. But now, they listened.
Human anomaly. You threaten equilibrium. Emotional resonance has spread like infection. We request submission.
You want silence, but silence is a lie.
You took him, and still, he remembered. You killed Earth, and still, we sing.
Nyx accessed the core of the lattice, the option she once feared, now unlocked. A pulse, a wave, a memory bomb that could unmake the Nrel entirely. One command from Zoe, and it would end. You would win, Zoe, and they would forget how to forget.
That's not winning. That's becoming them.
Zoe stepped back. She opened the channel to the known galaxy, and she spoke a story. Not of Earth's fall, but of its heart, of love in bunkers, of songs sung in ruins, of hands held in silence, of hope that never needed permission.
We are not a virus. We are the cure. We feel, we fail, we forgive. We are human. And now, so are you.
Across the stars, dormant genes activated. The scattered children of Earth awoke from stasis, rising with voices like hers. Nrel began to learn, not from code, but from feeling. The first tear fell in the Hall of Silence. Years later, Zoe stood on a cliff, beneath a twin sunset on a world without name. Children ran behind her. One sang a tune that had no beginning, only memory. She watches, smiles, whispers.
We remember.
In the end, it wasn't our technology that saved us. It was our grief, our love, our stubborn need to feel that made the stars remember our name.